So this video is for false lash application, and we're going to start the video as if we're just arriving to work. So what we want to do when we first get to work is we're going to go wash our hands. So we're going to wet our hands under the water, find the liquid hand soap, and we're going to wash our hands, palms down to our wrists. We're going to wash the back of our hands down to our wrists. We're going to wash our fingers. We're going to wash the backs of our fingers. We're going to wash between our fingers and between our fingers and our thumbs. We're going to wash our fingertips and nails. We're going to wash thumbs. We're going to wash wrists, and we're going to do all this interlocking cleanse for at least 20-30 seconds underneath the water, and then we're going to give it a really good thorough rinse. Once it's rinsed, you're either going to grab a clean towel or disposable paper towels, and you're going to turn the water off, completely dry your hands, throw those paper towels away, or put your towel in the to be laundered closed container, and then find that hand sanitizer, that's 70% ethyl alcohol, and then you're gonna rub it all together and get those hands really good to go. And then you have to get your area ready, and all of this is done before your client arrives. So what you're gonna do to prepare is you're gonna get to your room and you're gonna prepare your workstation, your bed, and your equipment using a disinfectant wipe following manufacturer's instructions. You're gonna dispense the products that you need for the surface. And how you do this is you prepare disposable portion cups for each of the product with a portion of the product by opening the top of the container and ensuring the tip of the nozzle does not come into contact with the disposable portion cup tray, or you can remove the product with a disinfected or clean single-use spatula, close the lid to the product, and set the portion cup or tray on the tray. Then you'll place disposable table paper on a disinfected bed. And then your client will arrive. So let's just see what we've set up here on our tray because we are ready to go. We have some cotton rounds, and we have some makeup remover. We have our set of false lashes with lash glue. We have a pair of tweezers, and we have a small pair of scissors. We have a disposable mascara wand. You can have plenty of those. And then we have something to apply the lash glue with that's single use that we'll throw away. Of course, we have our disposable gloves. We've got some extra paper towels or tissue, anything that we need right here. And so our tray is set up and ready for our client when they arrive. So now we're going to go to the step of client arrival. And at this point, when you meet and greet with your client for the consultation, you want to make sure that you're starting with clean hands. That's just understood. So if your hands aren't clean right now, you need to wash them. Our hands are clean. And then we're going to wash them again before we actually start the service. So meeting with my client, greeting them, and escorting them to the work area. We're going to assess the client's current style. We will determine the client's preferences. We're going to assess the client's needs. We're going to assess the client's skin by performing a skin analysis to ensure that there is no inflamed, infected, broken, raised, or swollen skin in the area to be worked on, or an open wound or sore in the area to be worked on, infection or infestation, for example, lice, to prevent from safely performing the service. We'll assess the client's consultation form for any medications and products used within the last 72 hours and consult on any known allergies. We will consult with the client on any facial surgeries within the last 3 months, and if the client is under a physician's care. We'll assess if the client is prone to cold sores or fever blisters. We'll assess if the client has used exfoliating or lightening agents within the last 72 hours, like alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids, hydroquinone, etc. We'll assess facial injections within the last 3 weeks, like Botox or hyaluronic fillers. If the client is free from all of those contraindications, we will be able to perform the service, and our client is. So we will get her comfortable before we get started. So we're going to take the client into the bed, and they don't need to disrobe for this service, but we do need to get their hair out of the way. So we're going to put a headband on to keep the hair off the face, away from the eyes. We're going to place them down on that prepared bed, and then we're going to put a little drape over them so we protect their clothing, get them nice and cozy. And then it'll be time for us to start the hand washing process before we service. So once again, we're going to wet our hands, and we're going to find that liquid hand soap, placing it in the palms, and we're going to rub our palms together down to our wrist. We're going to wash the back of our hands down to our wrist. we're gonna wash our fingers, and we're gonna wash the backs of our fingers, our fingertips and our nails. We're gonna wash between our fingers and our thumbs. We're gonna wash our thumbs. We're gonna wash our wrists. And we're gonna do all of that for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds. And then when we have a good wash done, we're gonna rinse our hands under the water and find either a clean towel or disposable paper towels. Grab it to turn the faucet off. Thoroughly dry your hands off. Throw away your paper towels, and then find your hand sanitizer to finish that cleanse. And then once your hands are sanitized and dry, make sure they're dry, that might take a second, you will be applying your disposable gloves. So make sure those hands are good and dry. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to remove any makeup that she might have on currently. So we're going to go ahead and get our makeup remover going. And sometimes you might need to do this more than once. My lady's a glamour girl, so she has on a good bit of makeup, so if I need to make a couple passes, that's okay on each side, or get some more. And then we're going to dry everything off nicely. You want to just make sure it's really, really good and dry because you're using lash adhesive, and you do not want anything to make them not stick or for that to not work. So just making sure she's nice and dry. And then I'm going to take my disposable mascara one, and I'm just going to comb through those lashes just so I can see where they are and know how to get that close to her lash line. Looks great. And then we'll find your set of lashes. The thing to note about strip lashes or false lashes is there actually is a right side and a left side. There's going to be a shorter side and a longer side when you look at each strip. The short side is going to be applied closest to the nose, and then it's going to get longer as it goes to the outside of the eye. So I'm going to take the first strip and I'm going to line it up to measure it. You don't need glue or anything, you're just going to use your hands, and then you're going to measure the strip with the length of the eye. And this particular lash strip is actually really designed for her eye shape. It's pretty great, so I don't need to trim, but I'm going to show you how I would trim if I needed to. So you're going to hold the amount that you need to trim with your fingers, and it needs to be the long side that you trim from, not the inside side towards her nose. So I've got mine measured, and then I'll find my scissors, and then I would trim the top part off here above the fingers, because if I go under the fingers, I'm going to make the lash strip too short. So I've done that, and then we're going to turn it over so that we can apply the lash glue to this strip of lashes. So we're going to take our lash glue, and we're going to apply a little glue, and you're going to go from corner to corner with your lash glue. And then you're able to throw away your applicator. Then grab your tweezers, because that's how you're going to apply the lash. You're going to hold about the middle, And then you're gonna come over to her eye and you're gonna place the strip as close to her lash line as you can. And then you're gonna press starting on the inner corner, and then you're gonna work your way to the outer corner. And it looks awesome. And you wanna wait about 4 to 5 seconds, let that dry a little bit. And then you can move forward, get your other set. So you're gonna do exactly the same process on the other side. So we need to measure the lash first. Just combing this little lash strip. I've used it a lot for videos. I'm just trying to get it pretty again. You normally would not have to do this. But sometimes when we use the adhesive over and over, because these are supposed to be like single use, maybe a couple uses, that's it. We lose some of these little lashes. Okay, so all we're doing is our measurement. Right now we don't have any glue on it, we're just gonna line it up with her eye. And like I said for the other one, they really look great, but we're gonna pretend for sake of the video that they don't. So here's the amount that needs to be trimmed. Once again, I'm grabbing my scissors, trimming from the long end, not the short end, and on top of my fingers, not underneath. Then I'll grab I'm gonna put the glue on. I'm gonna turn the lash over. I'm gonna get my lash glue, and I'm gonna apply some with my disposable applicator from the corner to the corner. And then I'm going to get my lashes and I'm going to hold on to them with my tweezer about in the middle, and I'm going to go to the other eye, and remember my initial press in is going to be on the inside, and then I'm going to work my way to the outside. Once again, trying to keep it as close to her lash line as possible, giving it that 4 to 5 seconds for that glue to set up. And boy, she looks great. And once you feel like they're set, you know, you'll have her open her eyes and she'll be like, oh my gosh, they look amazing. And then you can give her a little, here, look how beautiful you look. Oh my gosh, I love them, she says. So at this point, you are finished with that part before you talk with her. So you can remove those gloves. You're finished with the actual service part of the lash application. And so these will just go in the trash. You're done with this. And then what you would do is you'd want to be able to get her checked out. So you'll take away the drape, you will take away the headband, you will get her to the checkout area, and you're going to go over maintenance and aftercare, which these are really single use, so they're going to come off when she washes her face. She could potentially reuse them. You could tell her how to do that. Then you're going to go back because you got to get your room ready to prepare for your next client. So you're going to discard any single-use items. You'll take your implements, place them in a closed container labeled to be disinfected. You'll place the cape, towel, headband, anything that you might have used in a closed container until it's laundered. And then you have to get your work area cleaned and disinfected. So you're going to identify proper cleaning agent, read the manufacturer's directions, follow the manufacturer's directions for mixing and usage, wipe the workstation and area with cleaning solution to remove any debris, identify a disinfectant that is bactericidal, virucidal, and fungicidal, EPA approved for use in a salon setting. That means you're going to put gloves back on. You'll follow the manufacturer's directions for mixing and or using appropriate aerosol disinfectant. You'll disinfect electrical equipment stored in a clean area separate from other implements. Then you can remove those gloves that you wore for that part, throw those away as well, and it's time for one final hand wash. So you're going to wet your hands, you're going to get that liquid hand soap, you're going to wash your hands down to your wrists, you're going to wash your fingers, you're going to wash the back of your hands down to your wrist, and you're going to wash the back of your fingers. You're going to wash your fingertips and your nails. You're going to wash between your fingers. You're going to wash between your fingers and your thumbs. You're going to wash your thumbs. You're going to wash your wrists. You can do all of that interlacing washing for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds. Then you're going to thoroughly rinse your hands off. Once they're clean, you're going to grab a disposable paper towel, turn that water off, completely dry your hands off, throw those paper towels away, and then you can find your hand sanitizer. Go ahead and finish with that, 70% ethyl alcohol. And once you have completely finished your sanitizer, you can move forward to get ready for your next service. So that concludes the video for lash strip, artificial lash strip application.